y'all, my name is Brene Alexandria, and today we're going to talk about how to live a more purposeful, aligned, and guided life. I know a lot of us talk about how we don't understand our purpose. We don't know what we're here for. We don't know if God is speaking with us. We don't know if our angel guides are leading us. And I want to let you know ways on how to become more guided and more purposeful in life. So when I was about 15 years old, I remember asking and praying for guidance. I started asking for guidance. You know, I don't know why I felt like I was so confused, but I started asking for guidance. And around this time, I had a friend who was going through so much. We was only 15, 16 years old, but she had gone through so much trauma in regards to, you know, sexual trauma and, you know, just essay and, you know, just a bunch of different things. And that happened early on in her childhood. And so with it happening early on in her childhood, it had manifested itself in our late teens where she had become promiscuous. And during this time of promiscuity, boys had started talking because she was really, really, you know, in the throes of it. Boys had started talking about her and she was very depressed. She had a lot of, you know, ideations to end it all. And again, we were 15. I didn't know what to say to her. I didn't know how I could help her. But all I know that I could listen to her and give her the advice that I thought, you know, at 15. And so it was around this time that I started asking God for advice. And that's when I started seeing my angel numbers. At the time, I didn't know that they were angel numbers. I thought that I was going crazy. Like, y'all gotta excuse me, my nose is like stuffed up. I don't really sound like this. I sound so weird right now, but I really wanted to get this out. But yeah, I started seeing angel numbers. My first angel number was 11, right? I was seeing 11 everywhere, and I was paying attention to it. I'm like, what is this? Why every time I do something, every time I turn around, I see an 11? I remember trying to explain it to my mom, and she's like, what? That sounds crazy. I remember getting a receipt, like, see, look, it's 11, it's 11, it's 11. And I haven't seen it for years. It wasn't until maybe a few years later, not a few years later, a few years ago, that I started even seeing people talking about angel numbers. Because I thought this is something I'm just going through. So, I started looking those numbers up, and I started, to make a long story short, I started calling these numbers in. This is where I got the alignment at 15. Now I'm 30, and now I'm just now honing in on what these numbers mean and how I can use them to guide me through life. So I think a big part of becoming more guided in life is inviting those things in, inviting the Holy Spirit in, inviting God in, inviting angel guides in, you know, because I know I don't know if you guys, let me know if you can relate to this, but I know for me, I can call in my angel guides. Like there are some days where I don't see the numbers, you know, or there's some seasons where I don't see the angel numbers. And I'm like, what's going on? I need to, like, where are my angel guides? Like, what's going on? And after I do that, they start coming up again. But the thing that I've had trouble with is understanding if they're a yes or if they're a no, right? But I'm starting to realize that it's not necessarily a yes or a no. It's more so that you're in alignment. We're on the same frequency in this area, which is why you're seeing these numbers. So, so one way is to call in guidance, call in signs, you know, let God know, let the angels know, let the ancestors know that you want guidance, especially in a particular area. Another way is respect the nudge. Whatever nudge that you're getting, whatever thing that you're getting, that, you know, that feeling you get where it's like, I should call Sammy today. But you're kind of like, I don't feel like talking. The nudge that you got to call Sammy, that's the nudge. You're being guided to do that. Call Sammy. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny, when you do call Sammy, he's like, damn, I was just thinking about you. Damn, I was just talking about you. Damn, I really needed somebody to talk to right now. You know, respect the nudge. When you see an opportunity and you're like, damn, I should do that, but it doesn't make sense to you to do it right now, do it. Even on the flip side, if you have a nudge not to go to a certain place, not to hang out with a certain group of people, Don't do it, because that's my whole thing this year. This year I'm respecting the nudge to the T. Respect the Tanqueray. Respect the Tanqueray. Because I'm respecting the nudge completely this year, because I got places that I need to be and I can't do them by myself. I need to be divinely guided. And I'm not going to let my own monkey brain get in the way. Monkey brain meaning all of these thoughts telling me like a monkey swinging through the branches and the vines. I'm not going to allow my monkey brain to tell me what I can't do. Because my brain and my mind is not in charge. My soul is. You know what I'm saying? My observer is. I tell my mind what to do this year. Okay? So, respect the nudge. Like, even last night was the 1st of January 2026. Last night was the 1st, and I told myself that I'm going to respect the nudge, right? Instantly failed. This guy invited me out, and he invited me out kind of spontaneously. And I don't really do spontaneous, but I had already told him that I was going to go out with him, because he invited me that day. And I said, oh, yeah, I can do that. You know, it's a holiday, whatever. But I kind of didn't want to go. But because I had already told him that I would, I went. And do you know, it was disastrous. He ended up leaving because some logistical issues about, you know, seating and stuff like that. Mind you, I'm already dressed, I'm already beautified, I'm already ready to go. And he left. You know, I gave him the option to leave, and he took it. So instead of, but I told him that I more so like men that plan. And if he's not really a planner, then we probably won't work out. And it made sense, because he's like, I'm not a planner, I just come and pay the easy part. So I knew. So that's another thing. Being aligned with people who you're supposed to be aligned with. You know people who you ain't supposed to be aligned with. You know you're not supposed to be aligned with certain people, but yet you keep on holding on. You're not going to live a more fulfilling life holding on to people who aren't supposed to be in your life. You're not going to somehow force a person to be in your life that's not supposed to be there. You're just not. You don't want no hating ass people in your life, right? I know I don't. So, you know, so what did we say so far? I'm going to let this video be short because it's one of my first videos. But I just wanted to get that off my heart, because I know a lot of people want to understand how to be guided in this life, how to be purposeful in this life, how to get to where you need to go in this life. And those are my 3 or 4 reasons. I didn't count them up, but I think this was 3. Let me see. The first one was to invite guidance into your life. The second one was to respect the Tanqueray or respect the nudge, respect the leading, respect the guiding. The third one was to, I forgot. The third one was to go to align with certain people in your life. Take out people who aren't aligned with you. And I think that was it. I think 3 and 4 were kind of merged. But yeah, my name is Brene Alexandria. This is High Tea and Alchemy. Please look forward to some of the interviews that I'm going to do with some really dope people, like philosophers and psychiatrists and doctors and psychics and tarot readers and spiritual mediums and all things, because I really want to know the answers to all things. So, all right, y'all. Y'all enjoy the 1st of January. Hold on tight.